you get to see me.
No, this is great. Daniel, thank you for coming. We appreciate it. If you can't figure it out, then look, you got like 6 guys standing behind you going, we are learning. Just everything you said already is great information.
Yeah, so that's all pretty helpful. Yeah,
Sure.
I'm not sure why this isn't communicating. The next step would probably be double checking the Ethernet cable. What's concerning to me is the fact that it does seem to be receiving an IP address, and it is talking over it. If I go to this IP table entry here, it's able to communicate with the processor. It has this little online under the status, which to me says it's reading
there
positively and it's there. I suppose the next step is, before we start troubleshooting any hardwire, let's just make sure it's not on my end. But I'm going to try connecting to one of these processors here. I'll connect to the 3rd floor one, just to see if I can...
We are on the 3rd floor, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
this is the 3rd floor, correct.
And
Yeah, that's supposed to be in the other side over there. So, but yeah, he can network.
But I should just be able to connect to it, ideally over
The Ethernet, huh?
the Ethernet, yeah. So that was the IP address. I got it from that device info. And we're going to try connecting into it, because if it can't connect into it here, and if it doesn't work here, I'll try connecting into it via device discovery. Then it could be on my end.
okay.
Yeah, Josh. Go ahead.
It looks like it might be on my end, because it's not talking here as well. Let's try. So in device discovery too, what you can do is you have this list here on the left. If you just double click on any of these on the lists, it'll actually attempt to connect to it. So that's what I'm going to do here with this AP3. It'll say connecting to address, and then it 10.0.199.119. And ideally it should allow me to connect in, but if it fails,
Got some kind of communication error.
some kind of communication error, exactly, which might be
Ethernet,
it
or
could be
possibly
Ethernet.
something wrong with the DALI. How about other DALI?
Yeah, you can see it cannot connect to here, so that tells me that there's something funky. Let me, so I noticed a lot of the IP addresses here actually on this subnet 172.17. I'm wondering if maybe there is
A conflict?
either a conflict, or maybe there is some form of DHCP. So if I just obtain it automatically here,
Oh, so it's not static, is what
so
you're
it's
saying.
not static. I'm just curious if that'll actually allow me to see them still. Yeah, you can see everything populated again here
Using the dynamic.
using dynamic. So I'm curious if this will allow me to talk to it this time. So if I go to 3rd floor, hit connect to address. One thing I'm noticing though is the DALIs didn't populate again. It's all the same parts as last time.
Interesting. So those are Crestnetted back to the processor, or those are Ethernet
So they're
back to...
Ethernet back to the processor.
Okay.
And the one bit of good news here is that everything seems to be communicating over the Ethernet, just not back to me right now, to this laptop.
Okay.
Which I'm trying to troubleshoot, but I don't know. Yeah, I wonder if it's something to do with the Wi-Fi, if I disconnect from that real quick. Just to see if that makes it any better. And actually, we're going to try... Sorry, I can explain this real quick.
No need to apologize. You're using the command prompt now, right?
Yeah, that's command prompt.
Are you pinging stuff?
Yeah,
or-
I was going to try and
Okay.
ping it, and you can see here I'm trying to ping the processor, and it can't actually see the processor.
It can? Does it come?
cannot.
It can't. Okay. So you
So-
can't ping the processor with the command prompt, and that's talking through the Ethernet cable, right?
Correct. Yeah,
to
it
the
should
IP
be
address
connecting-
that it was assigned.
Correct.
So that's an issue of some kind.
So even though it's saying it sees everything here, for whatever reason, it can't actually talk with any of the parts over the Ethernet. And then I'm going to try just pinging the DALI that's right here. And yeah, same deal.
Now, even though I know you're thinking, but just throwing it out there, is there ever a time where you have to like just do a hard reset of everything, where, you know, like a computer, eventually you got to power it down and power it back up?
Oh, yeah,
Because
absolutely. But this, if anything, it would have to be my computer that needs to do that right now.
not the Crestron system.
It seems unlikely, because generally when you see that on the Crestron system, it's like an individual part or two that would do that,
I
not
gotcha.
necessarily
Okay.
The whole everything that we're seeing right now.
I see. Okay. So sometimes it might just be your hardware drivers or whatever that has something going on the actual laptop.
It's not receiving.
He's videoing it, so good.
I mean, yeah, hopefully it'll be useful later.
Hopefully, you can always call me. I don't have my card on me, but I have my cards back in.
Well, that's the last thing you want to do is give me your phone number. Manny won't even do that, and yeah, I'm just kidding. No, thanks. We appreciate it. Yeah.
I apologize.
This is a huge help. Don't apologize.
I'm gonna try just setting something static again. I'll try a different address this time just to see if it's any better. Let's just try an even 200. Pretty sure that was the sub now.
Oh, jeez, that's what it is.
Aha. So changing my IP address on here to 200 actually made the DALIs pop up. So I'm feeling
Maybe you're too far away from the range. yeah,
253 may have been a little bit too far.
Yeah.
He's like 1,000 devices far
Well,
away.
maybe maybe the IT department addressed
maybe-
something that's up from the top down to keep it away from the Crestron network as possible,
It's
right?
definitely possible that something was at the 253. So that is, you went through this whole troubleshooting process with me. I tried a couple different things. I tried
Perfect.
connecting,
These are
and we
real
found-
life
We
situations.
found the real issue, which was the IP address I had selected was the bad
Didn't like
address.
it.
Didn't like it. So I changed it to a different one, and now it's working.
Fantastic.
So you can see here, this is the DIN AP3 for the third floor. I connected to it. I'll just, so if you connect into it from the device discovery tool, you can connect to a bunch of different options from here. It's very similar to system info, but you can also just pull up system info from here. If I click this, it'll pull open the system info tool, automatically connecting to that part. So that's another way to get into it. A lot of redundancies. You can see there's a lot more information on this DIN AP3 than there was on the DALI, just because it can do a lot more things. But a lot of the same stuff is here, the same stuff we'd want to look at. For example, the Ethernet is here. You can pull it up and you'll get all the same information you did on the DALI. You have a program on this one. This is obviously, these are what's running the program, so you can go on there, and if I wanted to change the program on you guys, I could.
Okay, stop real quick right there with that statement you just said. So you're on the AP3, that's the processor.
The third floor, correct?
Third floor,
He's
yes.
on this third floor processor. You can see the programs that are running. Are those, now do you see them like as simple windows or what? Like, can you just give us a quick
So
tutorial on just the basics of what you see for the programs?
So for the programs, it's not a whole lot, unfortunately. But what I do see is I can see the system name. I can see that it's ELAC, so that's you guys. Third floor, so I know it's on the right thing. I know it's a D3 Pro program because it has this program ID tag at the top. You can see that up here too. It says D3 Pro.
Okay.
If you're looking, you can see it. Some of the other things, I can see the source file, so I can see from where it was originally created by.
How about a time when it was created, the original
Yeah,
source
so I
file?
have a compile date here. So
Of-
that's from 2016.
Okay, so
11/14 in January of 2016.
and we can compare that compile date with our backgrounds that we have of the building to see if ours
they're the
was
same, or if you're working with an older version.
right.
Yeah.
If somebody came in and did a change, that if we were to load the original program back up, it would be going backwards in time.
Yeah, you absolutely can.
Now I was understanding that these processors can run up to 10 programs at one time. Does that sound right?
That is correct, but we're only running one program.
Okay, that's good to know, and we can see that. So there's not 10 separate programs. There's just one.
No, yeah, you can look. If you click on the drop down here, you can see. If I go to program 8, there's nothing there. Go to program 4, 3, there's nothing there.
Okay, so it's just one running the
There's
floor.
just one, and generally on a lot of the time you'll see that too. You have 5 processors in the building, and you'll have a program per processor,
And not 10 on one
but not
processor.
10 of them. And just so you understand too, the reason we have it divided up that way is because even though it can run up to 10 programs, it has a limited amount of space on it. So instead of running 10 small programs, we're running one big program per processor. So it's not like we cheated you out of, or whoever sold the project to you cheated you out of money. This was probably the best way to actually do it.
Gotcha.
Some of the other things I can see on here, the big one is the source file. It actually shows where they got it originally, where the where the program file came from on the original programmer's computer.
It's got the path.
Yeah. Why that's important is because I can see here it was created by this guy, R. Santiago. Probably a company that doesn't exist anymore. Like 3 years ago, Core Us took over the field because the previous team dissolved, for lack of better words. But we could always reach out to them and maybe see if we could get them. Or Crestron, you know, this could be helpful information for Crestron. For them, a lot of the time, Crestron is going to have backup files.
I think Matt tried to look already.
And was there not
It
anything
was
there?
unsuccessful.
Okay.
So we got what we got, and then we never knew that this path existed, so that Santiago has it, whoever he was. But yeah, so that's coming from his C drive user's name, Santiago, and then whatever his subfolders are where that program resided.
Got
That's how can we know, right? Is that how can we know
pretty
that?
much. Yeah, that's what you're gonna do. So one other thing I'm looking at real quick right here is we have just the IP table for this processor. So this is program 01 D3 Pro. It has 3456. It has 4 dollies on it, I guess it is talking to. As well as it has Ethernet intersystem connects to what appears to be the 3rd floor AV system and the 4th floor relays. So that's going to be going up. So it's talking up to the 4th floor, talking to the
correct.
processor.
There's a
right
relay
there.
pin.
Yeah, there's a relay pan on there.
Yeah, and then it's also talking to the 3rd floor AV.
That's correct, yep.
So it can talk
So
to
the
your
classrooms,
and
they can
shit.
talk to the classrooms and
exactly,
can talk to
yeah.
some other, because the classrooms, they work on the dolly ballast and they work on relays too, so they
Sure,
have
sure,
a combination.
Yeah, so it's using all that combination.
Okay, one more interrupt.
Yeah, please.
I mean, I'm going to keep doing that.
No,
so
yeah.
that's question for both of you guys. Okay, so we also have another room, the other controller on the other side that controls the rooms that we were working on, 367. Is that a different processor?
No, that's what he said. You can see 4 dollies. There's 2 dollies here, there's 2 dollies over there, and the processor's over there.
So there's two
there's one-
processors on
box-
the 3rd floor.
No, there's one processor. You just said it right now. If you
Oh,
go to
and it's
that
not
room-
here.
No,
You're
this is 2
seeing.
dollies.
Oh, you're talking to
I'm
the
talking
processor.
to the one that's
I
over
get you.
there.
That's
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
That's all I wanted.
Yeah.
So there's one for the floor. You got only dollies here.
2
the
dollies and
processors
2
over
dollies
there.
over there, and right next to that's why we have 2 boxes. And one box is the processor, and the other box is 2 dollies.
Yeah.
You guys all understand that? Okay, good. Yeah, I
But
got
and,
it.
And then, yeah, the reason I'm able to talk to it, just redundancies, that Ethernet cable, I'm on the network,
Gotcha.
I can talk all the way over there.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah,
you
that's
can see what's in the
that.
network.
And from here, I could also go down to the 1st floor if I wanted. I could go up to the 5th floor. I could talk all across this whole building.
I get it now. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, that answered that. Thanks.
So here's where I'm going to pause for a second and talk to you guys. So I understand that you had a couple issues here.